In this video, I'm going to flip through my Erin Condren Franken-Planned Life Planner and show you how I used it functionally in the month of October and talk about what worked and what didn't and what I will be changing going forward. Hi, I'm Kristen and I post functional planning videos on my channel. If you're like me and you need a gentle reminder to just keep it simple, please make sure you're subscribed and I'll be right back. Okay, I really love these videos because I really like to audit my planning all the time just to see what's working, just because I'm super into like productivity and stuff, and I just want to see if the things that I'm doing are actually helping me, and then the places where I might be struggling, looking at my planner can kind of help me get some clarity on how I can fix that situation. So let's look at October. This is the October spread, and I have my Monday start as usual because I redated my whole planner when I got it using some Planner Kate stickers. I used the doodle sheet from Planner Kate to decorate this because I love Halloween and I had all the doodle sheets and I just thought they were super cute. So I went ahead and worked with the orange Evolve design that came with the planner, and then I added the Planner Kate doodle stickers here where you see them, just to add a little tiny bit of pop of Halloween without being too crazy. I started using more of these dash labels and I really love them. Did I start that in September? I did. So I really like how this allows me to have these things on my planner without having too much color and too much busyness. I think the dash labels are perfect for that, especially for things that kind of happen every month, like my Goal School Premium events happen every single month, and so it's good to just kind of have those on my planner for the whole year. And that is something I'm going to change going forward. When I set up my 2025 planner, I am going to put the whole year of Goal School Premium events down instead of writing them in during my Plan With Me videos, especially because if they're on stickers, I can move them if somehow that schedule changes, but then it just simplifies that process. Like, I don't need to be saving things to add to my planner on camera because I really do use my planner to help me stay organized, and so I do need it to function in a way that works for me. And I've been finding that to make videos, I like to kind of hoard all of my plans on like sticky notes and stuff in order to do the planning on camera, and that doesn't need to happen for every little thing. So things like my Goal School Premium and even Formula One, where I will know the schedule ahead of time, I want to just go ahead and put those on. And probably also No School, especially because I can use the No School stickers, and then if I want to add some deco like this later, I can just lift those stickers up using my sticker lifter here. This is also linked in my description. It's one of my favorite tools for planning, especially with the repositionable Planner Kate stickers. I can just lift it up and put it where it needs to go, like on whatever label matches. So that's what I'm going to be doing in 2025. I'm just going to go ahead and have those things already on the planner, and then add the decorations later, and then the little things that come up each month. I'm still using this as my to-do list for the month, and I have done these things, and these, as I'm filming this, haven't happened yet, so we will just keep those not checked off yet. But then we go into the dashboard pages, and this is another spot that I know works really well for me, having a dedicated space to write notes about school things, because school things always come up, especially now that I'm doing PTO. I have like PTO notes there as well. And then my goals over here work really well. That really helps me keep it in mind when I'm making my weekly plans, so that I'm making sure I'm getting those goals done. My debit tracker works amazingly, but I did start I designed a sticky note to kind of keep track of that for me so that I could move it, because the way my bank works is my statement is it straddles 2 months, and I need to have 10 transactions on my debit card to avoid the fee on my checking account. And so I like to at least check and make sure I'm having the 10 things. And so I love this. So what I decided to do was make a sticky note, and I had these printed, so I am actually going to be testing this for a while before I put them in my shop, but it's upcoming, little sneak peek, I guess. This is kind of what I'm going to be doing instead, and I'll probably just put it over here on my dashboard. And then this is going to become that reading section where I am keeping track of what I'm reading for the month so that I can add it to my reading checklist, which now that I say that, I'm realizing I forgot to update this when I did my November plan with me. So maybe I'll do that in an upcoming weekly plan. I'm not sure. But down here I have the Formula One schedule with the times for the events in my time zone for each week, and that works well too, and I'll probably keep doing that, especially for at least for the end of this year. I have done it for November. I'll probably do it for December, which there's just going to be the Abu Dhabi race, I think. And then I'll think about how I want to change it going into 2025, if there's anything I need to change. And then over here I have my meal plan, and then like I said, the reading, which same concept, it's just going to go here. I do like to have a little bit of deco on these pages, and the meal plan is something that may change. I'm not quite sure yet. I'm working through some health issues with some nutrition right now, and the way that I'm handling that is just by making the same things every week, and so I might not need as robust of a meal plan as I was doing with like the whole month, but we'll see. This will still be a spot where I will write like food and meal planning and grocery planning types of things. Also, I guess I should mention now, if you are new to my channel, you probably don't recognize this, but this is a dot grid page that I added because I recoiled my planner. I'm going to link the blog post below where I talk about this, but I changed my planner to make it work for me. This used to be a compact vertical, and that wasn't working anymore, so I took all of the weekly pages out, and then I added in the Erin Condren weekly overview pages that look like this. These are available as an upgrade to a weekly life planner. So I had some of these that I took out when I uncoiled and did the rest of the month with these, and then dated them with Planner Kate stickers. So that's what my weeklies look like. And then I put the dot grid page in between each so that I could use that as a dashboard. So that's why this is a dot grid, whereas in a normal life planner, this would be a lined page, and then you would go into your 2-page weekly spread of whatever, the compact vertical, or the hourly, or the horizontal. But mine looks like this because it's Franken planned. So over here I have my dashboard, and then over here I have my like weekly schedule. And this is where I think I really embraced color coding. I had started doing it in September and I loved it, and so I brought it through October, and just real quick I can show you. So I did that the whole month of October. Every week looks the same. There's no stickers except for the week numbers. And that worked. That really kind of helped me reset my brain and figure out what I need in my plans. And it might look boring if you're used to seeing stickers all over planner pages, but for me, this is what I need to be organized. And I always say this, but function should come first when you're planning. That doesn't mean you can't decorate, but you should always be thinking about, how is this functioning to do its job to help me stay organized and on time and on task and accomplishing things? And for me, I needed it to be just like this, and that worked. In November, I did start adding a little bit of stickers back in once I got comfortable again with planning out my week. And it's working, and sometimes I might use stickers and sometimes I might not. But for the whole month of October, I didn't use stickers, and I didn't miss them. I have on this the things that were like timed schedule things, and then here I had like the tasky kind of things that happen on a specific day. And then over here, I had my just weekly running to-do list. And then on my dashboard, I had my menu, my habits, and then any checklists I needed to break out for things that were here that I just needed more space for. And that worked really well. Even though you don't see a lot of checks on here, these kinds of things I actually do in another planner, and so that's why they're not checked off in here. So, you know, all right. And so then we go into the next, and then it's basically more of the same, except here I started journaling about certain things that were bothering me, and I liked that too, although I didn't end up doing that anymore. I just didn't need it, but it was nice to have the space to do that. And then here, I just kept going with the same concept, except I was giving myself more space than, instead of kind of doing like a third and 2/3, I just broke this part in half for schedule tasks and then weekly running to-do list. And then over here, the next one, I decided that I didn't want to do this anymore. So what I started realizing was that when I have something that I am saying I need to do that day, like a scheduling thing, but then I'm also adding a bunch of tasks, that's kind of too much for one day. And so I realized that the schedule is one of the top 3 things that need to happen that day. And so I didn't want to break them apart anymore. And so that's why here we just have, there's enough room for 3 main things, and then everything else goes in this list. So if there's time on these days, I could work on this list. And that worked. That kind of clicked a lot more in my brain, and I liked it better, so I did that going forward into November. That's the end of the weekly spreads in this, the October tab of my planner. Now we go into the notes pages, and this is just kind of where I was working out what the menu could look like and how I could prep things, because there are certain things that I need to cook for my kid that I can't eat, and so I have to have something different. So I'm just kind of, this is where I was working out. What could I make? What can I prep ahead? What types of things will my son tolerate eating as leftovers that I can prep ahead and reheat for him? And then that kind of thing. And then over here, this is just kind of like my food prep notes on what I can be doing, like what types of things can I make ahead on Saturday when I get my groceries. This page is just where I took some notes about work things. I still like this, but I don't think I'm going to keep this. I think there'll be a different system for this going forward in 2025. I did like popping things out like this for my different categories, and it's just a nice spot that I could just write things down as they come up, just to keep dates in mind, and just a spot for ideas or whatever it is. And then this is a Cultivate What Matters wild card that I get through my Goal School Premium membership, and I love these for planning out content. And then I just have some other notes here that I can't really show you because they have to do with my son's school and things and the work that I do with PTO, but I do have a blank set. So I have the Erin Condren 7x9 meeting notebook. I uncoiled that as well and put those pages in. And somehow in October, I accidentally put too many pages in. So I do have a couple of blank ones here, but after this, there's like a whole scribbled out notes for PTO. And then we get to the end. And so that is how I used my planner functionally in October. And mostly it was positive. And really, I just kind of figured out some things that are going to help me with my 2025 planner setup, which is going to happen before we know it. It's going to be time to do that. And just kind of having some clarity on what I need to be purchasing as far as stickers go and how I can use up stickers I already have, and realizing that the color coding really does work. So I didn't even mention that in this video, but the color coding comes from my Cultivate What Matters power sheets. Each one of these colors corresponds to the goal area that I am supporting by doing these tasks and projects and habits and such. So this kind of really ties it back to that big picture of these things are important, and everything I do each day goes towards me helping me accomplish those goals that I set for myself at the beginning of the year. So I'm definitely going to keep doing the color coding, and I've realized that it doesn't matter if I'm using stickers that don't match the color coding. It doesn't look bad. It just doesn't, and that's probably just because I am letting go of perfectionism there, and I recognize that the color coding is more important to me than the deco, and so if it doesn't look good with the deco, it's not a big deal. But okay, so that is it for this video. If you liked this video and you want to see more like this, please consider subscribing. You could also subscribe to my newsletter at KRISTANKREMER.com/free. If I have this video ready by the time that I send the newsletter out, which at this point is the 1st of the month, if that video is already edited and uploaded and scheduled, I will give you a super secret link to watch that video early. So that is one of the things that you will get if you remain subscribed to my newsletter, as well as access to freebies that I send out, free printables and such. So consider subscribing to the channel and to the newsletter, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.